Good evening. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, and welcome into the number one Group of Five college football show in the history of mankind. This is the Group of Five guys. If you're new here, our mission is to be the voice for the Group of Five football programs, the voice that God knows the mainstream sports media absolutely refuses to be. We need your help to do that. Hit the follow button on all the social media platforms at Group of Five Guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network, wherever you get your best podcast. Subscribe to the channel, leave a 5-star rating and a review. Most importantly, tell your family and friends all about us. On this episode, we've got a ton of voicemails from fans that we've got to catch up to, and we have got a calculated, coordinated attack by the mainstream sports media on the Group of Five we will address. Hope you enjoy the show. This is the Group of Five guys, and we are coming to you live.
They got Old Dominion week 3, and ODU is by no means a layup. The Group of Five guys told me that, so that has to be true.
We looked at each other, we was like, Mike, the best place to be is a Group of Five. So I'm sitting here with the Group of Five guys, right?
Detroit has won. It's been a winner, and it's a special place. So it's why you want the job.
But it's a ton of fun to watch a guy go to the NFL from a Nevada or a Colorado State or a Middle Tennessee or an App State, and fans follow that kid.
It was across there. You want to have this thing packed out, have the student section packed out, giving those guys hell on the sideline. I mean, that's part of it. I mean,
win or lose, like we're winning the tailgate.
There's no better place to be developed in this country than Boise State.
Boy, Jeff, I got to tell you, I almost called an emergency episode on Monday night, on Tuesday morning. I mean, the amount of hostility and unprofessionalism and disrespect that has been thrown the direction of the Group of Five. I got to be honest, Jeff, you know it and I know it. I've never seen anything quite like it. And, we are here to address a lot of these clips, plenty more. I don't know if you could tell, though. I'm a little under the weather, Jeff. Got back from New Orleans, and
that's exactly what it was.
No. My household, they were all sick, and it has attempted. The flu bug has attempted to attack me in the way that these clowns in the national media have attacked the Group of Five. But you know what? I won't stand for it. So I took the flu. I had me a little, did make my little tea, right? Orange, lemon, ginger, garlic,
there you go.
Little cayenne. Put that, boil it over some water, a little cinnamon, some cloves. And I mean, I'm going to fight this thing off. I think I'm on the mend. I felt a little rough this morning. I'll tell you offline, but I almost had a crazy Carl story like you did last night. Yeah. So I've been up, since about 2:30 a.m. But,
still grinding.
This topic and this sort of subject that we're covering tonight is like the reason we ever started a Twitter account. And I mean, what it's turned into and all the things that we're trying to do. But, I'm excited to talk about it. I mean, I think that on the socials, I like to think that the Tulane Army, the James Madison Army, the Group of Five Army as a whole has been holding our own, if not kicking the ass, as far as the ratios and all those things go on social media. But
I don't think there's any question. I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is Braveheart. And I feel like when they're in that little meeting and they've been trying to unite all the clans, all the Group of Five is just coming together, rallying around for this cause. And it's an orchestrated coup by the mainstream media. It's clear as day.
100%. And I've been talking about it now for a couple of years about the sports media being 100 times worse than our country's political media. And if this wasn't an identical situation, and Jeff, I tend to live my life in a certain way. And typically my rule of thumb, like this is how I hope I raise my kids. I hope that they're like this. And this is the way I live. If I see every single national media member saying the same thing at the same time, I know it's wrong. And
Oh
so
yeah.
and that's what we're seeing here with this. And they are spitting out misinformation, if you will, fake news, if you will. Um, but you're right. I mean, it is to me. It seems coordinated. Like I've joked about when do you guys like? Do you get a memo? Because it seemed like everybody knew it was coming. I mean, everybody knew. I
Trust,
think
we've
we
been calling
tweeted
this for
out.
4 years.
Well, I was going to say we tweeted out a month or two ago. Like, there's a chance Duke wins the ACC, and we're going to get two teams in, and it was a thing. And then you go into that final weekend, and it's, hey, look, if Cal, who by the way lost by 5 touchdowns to San Diego State, beats SMU, Duke's going to be in the championship game. So we knew then, and everybody knew then. And then Duke got in the championship game, and leading up to it, everybody said, hey, look, if Duke wins this thing, you're going to get James Madison, or you're going to get 2 group of 5 teams. So everybody knew it was coming. And then it came. And my God, Jeff, you would have thought these people's world was turned upside down. How can the committee do this? We got the stupidest rules. We got to get rid of the committee. We got to get rid of the whole playoff. We got to get rid of the group of 5. And it's like, you knew it was coming. You knew it was about to happen. What have you been waiting on? You've been waiting on your assignment from Bob Iger or
exactly
right. Mickey Mouse or whoever's telling you what to say.
Well, before we deep dive into this, Sprouse, got a couple of our show sponsors. Shout them out. We'll shout out the chat, and then we'll get right into it.
Yeah, we got some clips to play. Yeah, look, if you've been rocking with the group of 5 guys, most of the time we're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern time tonight. Being that there's no midweek games, we decided to get after it in the evening. Deca Gray Coffee has been supporting us for a couple of years now. Visit decagray.com. And here's the deal. This is roast to order coffee. This is not sitting on some shelf, some warehouse, some supermarket. This is roast to order coffee. So when you go to decagray.com and you select one of the many blend opportunities that they have, whole bean, ground coffee, or K-Cups available, and then you put in our promo code GOFG, that's when they roast it. That's when they bag it and ship it directly to your doorstep. That promo code GOFG gets you 10% off and free shipping. Also, Level Sports Picks. You've been seeing it on the social media. You've got the coach's desk. You've got Jay Vandy. You've got Soul. You've got the Prez in there. You've got every sport you can imagine. Anything that you can put a little wager on is in that Discord. The link is in our bio. It's Level Sports Picks. So you want to learn how to bet, you want to casually bet, or you want to be serious about it? NCAA, NFL, NBA, WNBA, UFC, soccer, NHL, all the things. The link is in all of our social bios on that. Also, if you're on Twitter live right now, the link should be on the Twitter underneath should be the link to the YouTube. Going over to that YouTube link for the live chat. Got quite a few people in here. Some of the regular folks, Morgan, Joe in there. Some Central Michigan representation in there tonight. Always some New Orleans, Tulane. By the way, it's Tulane, right? Not Tulane. I saw somebody arguing about that. It's Tulane. Go Tulane. That's what Coach O says. But Jeff, we got a couple of clips, so I'll let you handle that, and whichever one you play first, and then we can talk about it, and then we'll get the next one.
Yeah, we'll just start off with the man himself, good old Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah, well, it's time to get rid of the G5 schools. And I know how they got in there. It was a compromise. But America does not want to see Tulane, nor do we want to see James Madison in the college football playoff. This is great in the NCAA basketball tournament, Greeny. There are 68 schools. There are only 12 here, and we don't need them around. And I'm not going to give you the with all due respect, because I don't really care about Tulane or James Madison. They're both going to lose by 25 to 45 points. They'll be unwatchable games, and get them out of a playoff.
You know what? I want to thank Paul Feinbaum, because he's just said everything that the mainstream media, that's how they feel.
Mhm.
They don't want the group of five. All they want is their brands, their top 15 to 20, if it's even that, brands to be in the conversation, to be in the playoff, to have the chance. So Sprouse, I'll let you go after it first. But you know what?
Well,
Thank you, Paul.
well,
Thank you
well,
for just
Feinbaum.
letting it go.
Feinbaum is one of these guys that's been saying sort of. He's had this message for a long time. Him and I remember it was Colin Cowherd a few years ago. Remember, and he specifically brought up our Blue Raiders in one of his little rants about the group of five. But the thing about it is, Paul, we do care. And most of America does care. Most of America wants to see it. And Feinbaum's an SEC guy. He's saying, I know the reason they got in was a compromise. The reason they got in was because you guys wanted to expand it so you could get more in, which, by the way, there's 5 SEC schools out of 12. There's 140 FBS schools, and they got 5 SEC schools, and it still isn't enough, which is what we've been saying. They want the whole conference in there. They want everybody in there because that's the only thing that they can see is the SEC patch on their shoulder, and they think that means a harder schedule and better teams and better players and better coaches and all these things, man. And like Feinbaum, just of all people, you know what I mean? And this is what I want to say. You know that, Jeff, that there's like the meme. We're not a political show, okay, but I'm going to get into it a little bit. There's that meme that says like, they came for the whatever, and I didn't say anything because I'm not whatever. This is the message. Like, they're coming for the G5, okay? And nobody says anything because you're not G5. Well, guess what, ACC? They're coming for you next. Look at you, Notre Dame. Look what they just did to Notre Dame in favor of the SEC and the Big Ten, right? So I'm getting a phone call from the Swag Bear. Swag Bear, we're live, pal. if you still got the link, dude, you want to hop in. They're coming for the ACC. They're going to come for the Big 12. And it's what you just said. They want the 20 or 30 big brands. Doesn't matter how good they were. It just matters the branding because they all talk about that. How can we keep a big brand? That's every argument I've seen is how can we keep a team that won 10 games and is a huge national brand? I'm fine with you arguing about the 10 wins or all that stuff. But when you bring in that brand power, that it defeats your whole argument because that's the truth. And that's what they really want is the big brands because they want TV ratings and they wanted a TV show. That's why you have to do the stupid show on a Tuesday night and they have to do all this thing. It's a soap opera, dude. We're watching a soap opera
That's right.
live every Tuesday night so they can pick teams and then they can hit you with the the cliffhanger. And then at the last episode, they jump Miami over Notre Dame just for 2. So now these guys can sit up here and talk about it. We put a second group of 5 team in so everybody can sit here and talk about it for 2 weeks until we play the game.
I mean, do you think Boston College, NC State, like you think you guys are in the club? You're not in the club. Like they don't want you either. And this is what we've been saying for 4 years. They finally came out and said it about the group of 5. It's clear as day that look, guys, money drives all this. This is what is driving all these decisions. And it doesn't matter who or what institutions, the idea of what college football was when it was first started, like money is driving it. And it doesn't matter who gets destroyed in the process. And like, it's just mind blowing that we've gotten to this point and nobody has stepped in. And I don't even know who it would be because the NCAA is powerless. It's Greg Sankey. It's the Big Ten that are just driving everything forward. And all they want to do is maximize profits for themselves, for their brand. And it does not matter who gets hurt at all. And you just see it. You saw it with the selection show. You've seen it all year. You've seen it where now these Big Ten and SEC schools are not scheduling, taking South Florida off their schedule. Like they don't want it. They don't want anybody else except their 15 to 20 brands. That's what they want. And it's
Jeff,
clear as day.
Since Feinbaum is an SEC guy, I'm not a research guy. I'm a big, like, as you know, I don't like data. I don't like charts. I like to see what I see. I like to see a final result and tell you who's a better team. I don't like all this, this fantasy football analytics garbage. But I did a little research. I got a little couple of stats because it happened to pop up on my Facebook. Did you know? And I started to do this. I started to look up further, but I was like, you know what? This will make the point enough. Did you know that half of the first team all SEC offense started their careers in the group of five? Did you know that? Diego Pavia, obviously, Brazel, the receiver. What's the Pavia's target? Tight end kid, group of five, started in the group of five.
Yep.
Man, there's another guy that's an FCS guy. But needless to say, half of the first team offense, I imagine it's pretty similar on the defense. And everybody wants to say, oh, the best players are in the conference and this and that. And then you'll say, yeah, but half of your all conference team started in the group of five. And they'll say, yeah, well, that's because anybody that's good in the group of five moves on to the SEC. Maybe. But do you not think the next wave of good players is at James Madison now, is at Tulane now, is playing in the group of five right now? And then next year, Mestamaker, you'll be going to New York for the Heisman, and everybody's going to say, oh my God, we love this kid, blah, 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 blah. We're going to want to interview him on every podcast and every ESPN show there is. And this year, they're talking trash about him. Like anybody can just come off the street and play quarterback at North Texas. And it's like, do you not think the good coaches, right? Oh, the good coaches, look, you get your best coaches, go to the SEC. Sure, for money, but you don't think the next wave is there? Tulane loses Willie Fritz. John Summerall comes from Troy. He wasn't a good coach 2 years ago. He's only a good coach now that he's going to Florida. So this notion of that, like, they only are good when they're there. And it's like these rosters are full of NFL players, full of them. Every roster, group of five, all the way to your teams that win 1 or 2 games. There's NFL guys on those teams. So I don't know, man. This SEC garbage, dude. But again, ACC, Big 12, future Pac-12. They're coming for you next, just so you know.
Well, let's play this next clip, and then we'll be done with the audio clips. I mean, I could go an hour of all the clips I've heard over the past couple of days. But here's old Booger McFarland. This was right after the playoff brackets were revealed.
It does, because we tried to create an exception to include the group of five. And I think to your point earlier, Joy, we have teams on the sideline that absolutely could win a championship right now. No one in America, aside from JMU or Tulane, think that JMU or Tulane can win a championship this year. Like, that's the matter of fact. But they're in it because we had to include them based on the parameters that we were given. And I think that's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. I don't know what those thresholds could be, but we're trying to include teams to make them a part of this, when I think everyone knows that, yeah, they're good, but can they play with the big boys on a year in and year out? I don't know if that's the case, and I think that's what's going to rub Notre Dame, Texas, and Vanderbilt, because they could absolutely get hot and win it this season.
I agree with you.
There's so many layers to this that I could, in different directions that I could go. But to me, it's hilarious, because you saw it, ESPN, CBS, you saw Outkick, you saw all these people calling that the group of five spot is a DEI. You know what this is, Sprouse? You know what this eerily reminds me of? And a lot of the people that they're bashing the group of five, that they shouldn't be at the table, that they shouldn't be have a spot. It's very similar to Trump derangement syndrome. It's G5 deranged. I've never seen it. I've never seen it in the sports media quite this bad on a collective level. It's G5 derangement syndrome. I mean, it's the same people who want to talk trash about one side, but yet they're acting the exact same in this scenario.
Correct.
And they're just losing their minds. And what it comes down to is you have the elites. It's no different than politics. You have the elites that want to keep everybody out of their club, that they don't believe are on the same level. It's the same exact thing. And that's what bothers me so much about it, because everybody's like, oh, this is just football. You know, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, it matters when, like, the genesis of not only college football, college sports, what this country was founded upon. It was the little guy. It was the underdog that's fighting for their freedom, fighting for a chance. And when you completely take that opportunity away, not only does it hinder your school's ability to grow and for resources, for exposure, like the marketing that these teams get when they're in the playoff. Notre Dame keeps all of that money every single year. The SEC, the Big Ten, they get the lion's share of it, and that's fine. But I don't understand why we're acting like we don't have a model right in front of us. When you look at the NFL, who has 32 teams, I get it. But when it comes to the media deal, it's one media deal, and it's split evenly. And you could do the same for college football, split it conference by conference, give the Big Ten, give the SEC a bigger percentage of that media deal. I'm fine with that. They deserve it. Cool. Do it based off of their ratings. It's not that hard to do math. But you can't just be solely focused on 15 to 20 to 30 teams, because what you're going to do is kill off everything else. And you're going to lose, in the long run, you're going to lose a ton of interest, a ton of viewers, all the things that made college sports special. Like, we've already gone down this road with NIL and the portal that's turned a lot of people off. And I know viewership is up this year, but I've talked to so many people and seen so many people. I'm like, I'm about done. They're like, I'm about done with college sports, specifically college football in general.
It's a bubble. It's a bubble with the ratings. And I hate that we associate good ratings with something being, quote, good for the sport, because it's not necessarily the same thing. Because I'll tell you what would get good ratings. Tulane knocks off Ole Miss. You catch the end of that game, and everybody's going to be watching to see if they knock them off. But with what McFarland said, with what Booger McFarland said, there's a couple things. One, he's talking about, they're judged on a different criteria. It's like, yeah, but they have to win their conference. They cannot lose more than 2 games in this case for Tulane. But in my opinion, it's they can't have a slip up game, or they get knocked all the way out. You want to talk about DEI? You know what the DEI hire is? The DEI team in the playoff is the one that gets smoked in their first game and gets smoked in their last game and doesn't move at all simply because of the color of their helmet. That's what the DEI. If you want to bring that up,
doubt.
these grifters, dude, Whitlock and Clay Travis, these guys tried to be anti-media, and they just went the total opposite way, and they're even worse than the ESPNs and the CNNs. What they think they are, they're even worse when it comes to politics and all the race baiting and these things like that. They're 10 times worse than the people that they claim to have gotten away from, those two guys. And funny enough, here they are agreeing with the mainstream media that they claim to hate so damn much. Isn't that something? But the other thing, what else did Booger say? The other thing I wanted to talk about was, you have, I talked about the players and the all SEC team being, half of them came from the group of 5. And then people will say, oh, the coach is this and the coach is that. Here's your 12 head coaches. We'll include Lane Kiffin in this just for my argument's sake. 6 of the 12 were head coaches in the group of 5. 5 of the 12 head coaches within the last 5 years. So that's Lane Kiffin at FAU 5 years ago, coaching at FAU. In Conference USA at the time, by the way, I'm for most of it. Summerall and Chesney, obviously. Signetti at James Madison 2 years ago. Cristobal down at FIU. That was the one that was more than 5 years ago. And then Kalen DeBoer at Fresno State just a couple of years ago. And I believe all but Kirby Smart and Brent Venables spent years in the group of 5 as position coaches, coordinators. Kirby and Venables are the only 2 that didn't. So it's again, and if you don't think the next wave of good coaches is assistant coaches at Tulane, assistant coaches at James Madison, I mean, I just don't understand I really don't understand any of the arguments. I really don't. And then, what Booger said about the only people that believe they can win is James Madison and Tulane fan. Yeah, that's all that needs to believe, brother. I mean, what do you want? And to say nobody believes Vanderbilt could have won the whole thing.
Or
Are you
Texas
kidding me?
A&M.
Nobody really believes Oklahoma can win the whole thing. They're in it. Nobody and they say all these things. Well, any of those teams could get hot and win it. No, they can't. One team can win the national championship this year, and they will win it. I've never understood that argument. Well, they could have won it. It's like these guys at Barstool. They've been say, they sit here and they say, well, because they're getting crushed. All these talking heads are getting crushed. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? There's blowouts every year. The group of five has done better than average when it comes to scoring margin in these games. In the two CFP playoff games the group of five has been in, they've done better than average. But they're like, oh, but we knew those games were going to be blowouts. We didn't know that Clemson was going to get blown out, or Michigan was going to get blown out, or Tennessee was going to get blown out. So we were intrigued. So those games weren't unwatchable because we thought they had a chance. That's the worst game to watch. We think it's going to be a good game and it's a bludgeoning. The best game to watch is the one where you have low expectations and they come out to play and they play a damn good game. So I just they keep moving the goalposts, right? Oh, these games are going to be blowouts. Okay, they're all blowouts. Every college football playoff game's been a double-digit blowout. Yeah, but we didn't know that. Well, maybe that's your fault. You didn't know that. Maybe you don't know ball like you think you did. We saw Tennessee come out there with their shirts off and go down 21-0 in 5 minutes. I think that was pretty quick. We knew pretty quick they weren't going to win that game. Talk about unwatchable, wasted playoff spot. We'll put 5, and that happens, and then we add an SEC team to the playoff. If Tulane or James Madison gets smoked, you can bet your ass no chance you're getting 2 ever again.
That's exactly right. And again, it just goes back to I've already seen this. I've seen the SEC play all year. I saw the SEC championship. Why in the world do we need 5 teams from one conference in? Like Little League Baseball does it the right way. You have divisions, then they go to their all-star in their region plays. The winner of that goes on to the next round, and all this you have at the end of it, you have 2 teams that have played. Like it blows my mind that we have 10 conferences. You could even add an 11th because I know we've added teams in the last couple of years. Yeah. I don't care. 10 conference champs get in, and then you give 8 or 12 or 14 to make it 24 teams. I don't care. At-large bids, so the SEC and the Big Ten are happy. They can get all the rest of their leeches that just suck on Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, and Alabama every single year, and they can get in the playoff too. But that way, everybody's represented. It puts the emphasis on winning your conference, which I think is still important, and playing a conference championship, which I still think is important. Like, it's not complicated, but for some reason, we cannot figure it out at the highest level of college football, and we want a committee to sit in a room and cherry pick teams that they have bias on to get in, and then everybody's upset. Nobody likes it, and it's like, just look at the FCS. They got it right. How often do you hear their fans complain that so and so should have been it? You don't, because they do it the way that everybody else does it, from the time of T-ball all the way up to the freaking NFL. And to sit there and say, like, all the media being like, well, we know it's going to be a blowout, so you know better than everybody else. We got to take opinions out of it, boys and girls. It's not that complicated. It's really not.
The thing about it too, right, is like maybe the 4th best team in the SEC, we've talked about this, is better than the best team in the American. Maybe, probably. We get it. They'll be favored on a neutral field. That's always the thing, right? But we know that the 4th best team in the SEC is not the best team in the SEC. So if they're not the best team in the SEC, they're probably not the best team in the country. So what's the difference if you lose in your conference championship game or you lose in the 1st or 2nd round of the playoff? You're not winning it. So when you lose, it doesn't really make much of a difference now, does it? So like you said, every other league, how many times in every league ever has there been an 8 seed in the East that makes the playoffs that at 35 and 45, and there's a team in the West with a 10-game better record that doesn't make the playoffs in the NBA? But it doesn't matter. You're not going to win you're not the best team in that division. You can't be the best team in the country. And then even with that, you got to go play the damn games, because every once in a while that 8 seed upsets that number 1 seed. Or every once in a while, like I talked about, the Florida Marlins show up. We know the Yankees got all the money. We know they got the stars. We know it. We know they got the fans. We know they got the ratings. But every once in a while, a 17-year-old Miguel Cabrera comes to bat for the Florida Marlins and hits a homer off Roger Clemens in his first career at bat. Every once in a while, that happens. And then when you look at college football, they keep giving these teams, like Michigan gets in the playoff, right? After they collapsed. They get better, they get into the playoffs, and they get beat by 30 points in the first year. Nobody bats an eye. They put them in the second year. They get beat again pretty handily by TCU. Nobody bats an eye. Then they just say TCU doesn't belong after they lose to Georgia, even though TCU just got done beating blue-blooded Michigan. I don't know. Then they get in a third year, and they win the whole thing. So do you not think that when a team loses in the first round, if Tulane or James Madison, maybe they get beat by 3 or 4 touchdowns, maybe. You don't think that they're going all off season? Let's get a little bit closer next year. You don't think there's some recruits, there's some guys on that team that are going to get NIL offers that are going to say, you know what? I'm going to come back. We got unfinished business. We're going to run this thing back. We're going to get a little closer. Maybe next year they lose by 7. You know what? We're going to come back. Or, hey, maybe there's some donor in New Orleans that's like, man, we're close. I want to take this team big time. How much do you need for a quarterback? Hey, coach, you're missing a left tackle. How much you need? And now you get more money than you've ever gotten before. Now you go win a game or two. And then the cycle goes on and on and on. And then when that happens, let's say, I'm using Tulane because they're in it this year. Guess what's going to happen at South Florida? They're going to try to catch up. Guess what's going to happen at Memphis, North Texas, East Carolina? All the schools in that conference, they're going to try to catch up. So then now you have multiple teams that have elevated their level of play because of the access that you allowed this little old group of 5 team that's got no chance and players that just walk off the street, according to Taylor Lewan and these guys. But that's maybe they get blown out, maybe. But I promise the benefit that they'll get is going to make it closer next time and closer the next time and closer the next time. And then one of these damn days, and I hope to God, let me tell you something. If it happens this year, if either one of these two teams wins just one game, I mean, first of all, John Summerall will be the guy to do it. And it's a little bit of a shame Signetti is not still at James Madison because he sure as hell would be the one to do it. I mean, I just hope they double bird everybody in the media room. I wish these guys would, Jeff, I'm really sorry. I'm going all over the place, but I'm upset.
Let it go.
You can't tell. When NIU beat Notre Dame, you couldn't get Thomas Hammock because every talking head wanted to talk to Thomas Hammock. When he has a viral speech, a couple weeks into the season this year about NIL and recruiting, every talking head wants to get him on the air. But then they go this week and say the things that they've been saying about group of 5 programs, players, coaches, ADs, entire conferences. I wish these guys would start declining these interviews. And when they have success like this, I wish they would start say, you know what? No, screw you. I get it. They're not going to do it because, again, the publicity that they'll get from going on ESPN and these networks. But, man, these guys, man, like I saw Summerall was on Barstool today. After all these guys were talking trash about Tulane, saying they got no chance. Oh, but now he's the coach at Florida, so now you love him.
That's exactly right.
So man, I don't know, dude. It's very frustrating. Well,
Sprouse, the other piece to this, I just want to jump in real quick because you were talking about how it affects these programs the next year and the next year. We all know the NIL transfer portal system is completely broken. And now it's one portal window. We're taking baby steps. I don't know why they just won't fix it all at once, but it's going to get fixed at some point. At least God, I hope it does. But when it does, where you're not going to have kids transferring every single year, that's where this even helps the group of 5 even more. Because if they go back to one transfer and you have to transfer down, or if they actually institute contracts, which I think these players, which I think is needed, where they got to sign. You can sign a 1-year deal, but you don't produce, you're out. Or you can sign a 2-year deal or 3. However they fix the portal and the NIL situation. Now you know what you got. It's a little more like it was pre-COVID, where it's like, all right, now I can really build a roster. I know I'm going to have this guy for 3-4 years or 2 years or whatever the case may be. So it's like, yeah, we make the playoff. Now I know what I got coming back. I know what I can pay these guys. Now we can build on it to the next year. So you're going to see at some point when this does get fixed, if they haven't broke off yet and completely done their own thing, because that's what the Big Ten and the SEC want. If the Group of Five and the ACC and the Big 12 are still around, you're only going to see that gap get even closer. I'm telling you right now, that's what's going to happen.
Well, that's what they don't want. That's why they try to leave the Group of Five out of it. But anyway, Jeff, I think I'm okay for now. I think I've gotten what I need to get out for now. I will say this. I have on high authority. Number one, I watched John Summerall on Barstool today. And he, and I know some of this might be coach speak, but he said, we played about as bad as we could have played. Remember, Jake Retzlaff is about a month into the program.
If that.
Back then. And when we talked to him in week 2, they still didn't really know for sure if he was QB1. There was still kind of an argument. I also have on high authority, a little inside scoop for you, because I got a text message from, I don't know how, what do you guys say? What do you say, Feinbaum? From a source within the program? Is that what you say?
Yep.
Leading up to the first Ole Miss game, that was like, yeah, man, we're banged up bad. Okay. So you kind of knew what was coming. Well, I texted that source just the other day, Jeff. And I said, hey, man, you guys a lot healthier than you were in week 3, week 4? He said, hell yeah, we are. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. What do you always say? What do we say, Jeff? The hardest thing to do in sports is beat a good team twice. And, I know they beat them badly, but you also look at the turmoil, which, by the way, we already know what the excuses are going to be if Tulane is the one that gets
where I was going.
Yeah, you're going to crank up that excuse machine higher than it's ever been cranked up and say, wow, but, Lane Kiffin and this and that and distractions and this. As if that don't happen to the Group of Five every single season, more so than anybody else. So anyway, man, we'll dig into these games a little bit. I mean, I know that there's a strong chance that at least Jeff and producer Ben are going to try to take their talents to Oxford. I have planted the seed, and I might have overwatered it.
Lauren, what do I got to do? What Christmas present I got to send the old spouse?
I said, this is a once in a lifetime thing. She said, that's what you said about Boise last year. I said, well, it was. It's not Boise this time. It's Tulane this time.
That's right.
It's in Oxford. And then I'm just thinking, and then I was watching, people are posting Tulane against USC, the Cotton Bowl from a couple of years ago. And I'm just like, man, to be there. And then I'm like, if they beat Ole Miss in Oxford and I'm not there, here's the deal. We are staying in a beach house for Christmas. We got a big house down there in Santa Rosa Beach. I'll probably jump off the balcony if they win and I'm not there. I'll probably
me and Ben are gonna be on the field just going nuts, dude.
I will leap off the balcony, but I'm trying. I'm pretty good at this. Okay, so you guys just give me time. Give it time always works, Jeff.
That's right.
Hey, side note, I didn't even tell you this, Jeff. I'm gonna go to the it's not a great one, but I'm gonna go to the Salute to Veterans Bowl in Montgomery on Tuesday night. Troy and Jack State. We gotta go over there, get old Conzi and my buddy Jimmy. We're gonna go out there and check that one out. A couple veterans themselves.
No doubt.
So we'll check that game out. A quick drive for me, but then yeah, dude, I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. Even if it's
the seed has been planted, you just gotta water it a little bit.
That's all you got to do. Just start, a couple guilt trips here and there, and then especially when I get down there and I get the family involved, like because they're gonna say, "Hey, where are we watching these games?" And I'm gonna say, "I could have been watching it from the sideline."
That's right.
And then they're gonna say, "What? You got? Oh yeah." I said, "Yeah, had them, but I'm hanging out with you guys. Wanted to spend time with the family."
Well, so you got to go, Sprouse. You can get out there right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, Jeff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna be able to go.
You'll be there in spirit, brother.
No, I know, but it'll be good because I'll be just ignorant as can be on the social medias. Anyway, We got a bunch of voicemails from the weekend, from earlier in the week. We got to get to you guys. If you're new here, 615-900-4286 is the hotline. If you've got a hot take, if you've got a prediction, if you want to sound off on us or on, Feinbaum and some of these talking heads, 615-900-4286. Let's see what we got.
Group of five guys, Chuck of Prairieville. Hey, disregard that earlier message. I got company. So, hey, what a weekend, huh? Congratulations, Tulane. Congratulations, Kennesaw State. Congratulations, JMU. And, oh, boy, don't we love Duke. Boy, they're going to throw a wrench into this so-called playoff system. Y'all got a lot to talk about. Love you, Group of Five guys. Thanks for representing. Roll wave.
He had a part 2.
CFP, college football politics. That's right, not playoffs. You have a committee that votes. Voting is political. And with politics, you get one hand washes the other, strange bedfellows, manipulating the laws to best suit their means. And this committee, what is this small group of people? How can they dictate what millions of individuals perceive as who's who? And who is the SEC and Big Ten think they are that they can lobby postseason platform? We know it's all about getting as many of their constituents in. Playoff system is a structured system. It has rules that don't change every week. Hell, the FCS does it. Division II, Division III. Hell, even the pros do it. Baseball, basketball, hockey. Well, we know it's all about the money. That's why you had 2 teams bail out on their conference brothers. So you bail out of my bunker, I'll put one back to your knee. You ain't going nowhere. Hell, we done lost the whole conference already. The NCAA needs to start running the NCAA. They need to take it away from these money mongrel entities. And I think y'all know who I'm talking about. Thank you, group of guys. Thank you for representing.
I tell you what, Chuck from Prairieville,
he's on it.
He is on it. He just summarized the entire argument right there.
What's the now? What are we gonna call, since we've compared this to politics so much tonight? You have big pharma, right? And big what's the big what? What is that? What is the SEC and the Big Ten?
I'm gonna have to think on that. Come up with
I don't know. Come up with a good name for him.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Chuck.
Yeah. Well, let's check in with the other Chuck. Little Chuck T.
Group of five guys. Chuck T here. I'm going to start off by quoting Sprouse, December 7th, 2025, the year of our Lord. 2 G5 teams in the CFP. I'm going to quickly talk about my JMU Dukes. Sun Belt champions, hell of a game. That's what you wanted. None of this blowout stuff in the SEC or the Big 12. 2 teams battling out, looked good. Troy came to play. They were strong. Their quarterback, Goose, looked fantastic, really good. He's putting it where it needed to be. You know, if he doesn't go out, I still think JMU wins, but I think it's still maybe 17-14. I mean, they'd gotten to him. Maybe they had 5-6 sacks up to that point. But you know, the backup end, I think it started the year and won, I don't know, maybe half a dozen ball games, 4 or 5 ball games for Troy. So it's not like they put in some true freshmen. So, you know, you're as good as you are deep. And, you know, that was just a green light for JMU to turn it on. Sun Belt champions, just incredible, absolutely incredible. And their number got called. Man, the amount of strays that JMU, and Tulane for that matter, really the G5 are catching is just, it's so hypocritical, it's comical. And then you got Notre Dame right now that are packing up their toys and not playing in a bowl. Man, that is some soft ass stuff right there from a team that really prides themselves on grit. Just don't get what you want, so you pack up your stuff and go home. I think it's great. I think that if they want to act like children, then go right ahead. So proud of the group of 5, Tulane, JMU, getting it done. And you know what? I don't think the score is going to be any worse than Tennessee getting its ass whooped last year.
That's right.
JMU going to Eugene. So anyway, settle it on the field, just like you guys preach. But just so damn proud of the squad. And the Dukes get to buckle the chin straps again. The season continues. Anyway, super pumped. Just an incredible season. Thank you guys for all you do, and looking forward to some CFP shows coming up. Go Group of 5, guys. Go Dukes. Go G5 all the way.
Appreciate you, Chuck.
I don't know why Notre Dame's why are they coming after the Group of 5? Like, if it wasn't James Madison, it was going to be Duke or Virginia. So it wasn't going to be Notre Dame anyway. You need to be mad at the committee for Alabama not moving anywhere, and if you feel like you got slighted with Miami jumping you. That's what you need to be mad about.
You could get your ass in a conference. I mean,
you could do one. You could do that, couldn't you? You could do that. By the way, I saw Chesney at the UCLA. He's a good-looking guy, man. That Bob Chesney. He he looks like a UCLA guy. I hate to say it, he does.
Little hair,
Yeah, he's got the haircut. He's got the tailored suit, the whole deal. Hey.
Look, I want all the. I hate that the coaches leave, but I want them all to crush it.
Yeah, I do too. You imagine if UCLA all of a sudden gets good.
Yeah, that's tough sledding.
It's gonna be tough. When's the last time they have been?
Been a while.
Not in my lifetime.
Appreciate you, Chuck. We'll stay in Harrisonburg. Check in with our boy Grant Horn.
What is up, gentlemen? Group of 5 guys. Hope you're enjoying yourselves down there in Tulane this evening. What a great show. What a great game for UNT versus Tulane. Of course, it is your friendly JMU fan, Grant Horn. Here's the thing. Interesting feeling this evening. Of course, I'm happy that the Dukes won. It feels bittersweet, though. Of course, 31-17, it feels like, all right, yeah, that is a good win for JMU. At the same time, you're sitting there thinking, just feels like it should have been more. And there's just part of me that after this showing, I think UVA is going to win tomorrow. We'll see what the weekend holds for us. I know you're going to get to this on Monday. I guess we'll be, seeing what happens on Sunday or whatever you're doing this show or looking at this. But at the end of the day, hey, I love my Dukes. I'll take the Sun Belt Championship. I guess we'll see what next year holds for us with Sun Belt Billy. And, hey, onward and upward, right? Go Dukes.
Oh, Grant, that was before Saturday, but pal, you're in the dance.
Ain't no next year, buddy. You got another one next week.
It's process. I was going to say this after the last voicemail. You can tell that all the people that are in the media that are saying Group of 5 doesn't deserve a spot. They're not going to win anyways. Everybody knows they're not going to win. That's why I know they never played at any type of level, because as a competitor, I just want one more opportunity to strap it up and to be playing for something. So you don't think that all the players on Tulane's roster and all the players on James Madison feel like they deserve it? Who cares what you think?
Yeah. Well, dude, and that was the most frustrating thing for me but you did hear some of the players saying stuff like that. You heard Pavia come out and say something like that. Bro, weren't you at New Mexico State when you went to Auburn and beat Auburn?
He's claiming he misspoke.
Yeah, because he was probably getting crushed.
I'm sure he was.
Now he's all famous. He forgot where he came from a little bit there. Maybe.
See.
But, and these guys, because man, you're discrediting the knock that the players aren't good and all that. Think about your high school team, right? Think about all those guys that were pretty good that didn't stand a chance to play D2, D3 ball. You know what I'm saying? Think about, and I can speak on this from personal experience. Think about when you go to the walk-on tryout and there's 200 kids out there to try out, and they all look the part, and they all think they can play. They all think anybody can come off the street and play Division I FBS football or any kind of college football. And then the strength coach gets out there and says, hey, do a karaoke at the 20-yard line. They can't do it. Hey, get in a stance to run the 40. Can't do it. They got the hand back. They got the wrong hand down. It's like, these are the kind of people that think anybody can go play a high level of any sport. And it's like, these are the people that, this is a totally different topic, but these are the students that don't go to games because they think the team sucks, right? Like they go out there to walk on tryouts, and it's literally like, hey man, if you can come out here and not get one of our starters hurt, you're going to make the team. And there's 200 guys out there and 2 kids make the team. That's the kind of people that are talking about players suck and teams suck and this and that. You got not a clue. Not a clue. But anyway.
Let's keep it rolling.
Group of 5 guys. It's John calling. There was no San Diego State Aztec football game this weekend, but it was interesting to watch the Mountain West. I was rooting for UNLV just because, and they just, they just couldn't hang with Boise, which is unfortunate. But I like the UNLV story. New coach, all new players pretty much, and they did a good job. I'll tell you what, if you haven't been to Vegas and see that stadium, they play the stadium that the Raiders play in. That place is amazing. It's right there off the strip. That's crazy. I was just there in Vegas this week. That's like unbelievably nice. So anyways, let's get to the bowl game, New Mexico Bowl. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't even know, like, why do we care? Like, North Texas, okay, I think they're great. Too bad they lost to Tulane. But here's an interesting thing. I've been saying all year, when we play somebody good, bet the house. And I'm telling you right now, bet the house. Here's an interesting fact. We played Washington State early in the season. We went up to Pullman and got crushed. The very next week, they went to North Texas and got beat 59-10. So one was a home game for them, one was a away game, but I mean, I'm just saying, look at that. So their offense is crazy good. Our defense, everyone says it's so crazy good. Here's another interesting thing. Chris Johnson, he's probably not going to play. Why would you? Why would you play in the New Mexico Bowl? He'll play in the Senior Bowl and when all the scouts are there, and he's going to play on Sundays. He's going to be first or second round draft choice for sure. Just absolutely. Trey White, I don't know. Do you play? I'm not sure. Do any of these guys play? Like, it just becomes less, I don't know. You worry about getting hurt? I wouldn't play myself, but I don't know if they get paid money for playing in the bowl games or not. I don't know. But anyways, bet the house, guys. Bet the house and take North Texas because this amazing, amazing defense ain't so amazing, and we're going to see it. This is actually going to be really interesting to me. I want to see. I want to see, and you know what? If I'm wrong, I will eat crow. I will eat crow, but I don't think I'm wrong. So let's wait and see. December 27th in Albuquerque. It's going to be interesting. The fan base from San Diego is not traveling to Albuquerque. I tell you that right now. There's going to be no Aztec fans there. So I don't know what it's like. I think these bowl games are just fillers for TV over the holidays, just TV content. I'm pretty sure that's what it is because everyone's excited about the college football playoffs. And, hey, James Madison and Tulane, they're in. So let's see. Oh, I'd love James Madison to beat Oregon, guys. I would love it, love it, love it. But I doubt they can, but I'm hoping for it. But I did watch the Ohio State-Indiana game, and I love that game. That was such a good game.
Well, he got cut off by the three-minute time limit. But, yeah, John, as far as I know, you still get gifts. We went to the GoDaddy Bowl when we were at middle, and you get gifts. You get a little per diem cash to go spend while you're out in the town, all that type of stuff. I don't know if they get cash. I don't think they get cash outside of their per diem anymore. But it's a different age. And, yeah, the other question to San Diego State getting boat raced is who from North Texas is going to play. So you don't know if Messamaker's playing, if Young's playing. I'm sure most of them are probably on their way to Oklahoma State with Eric Morris. So you just got to try and look at the roster, see who they got. But, yeah, on its face, I'm going to take North Texas with that question. So.
Jeff, I I thought I had an emergency. I heard a loud noise. I broke my headphones.
You good?
We're good. I got my two oldest standing here now. So if you hear anything, we're all right. But I had an episode. I'll tell you tomorrow. But I had a something go down last night, so I'm a little paranoid. But anyway, John. I think John is a. You mentioned he was in Vegas. I think he probably shakes some dice.
Yeah, no doubt. We gotta get out to Vegas.
Yeah,
we do a meetup in Vegas. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, man. Let's get to the next one.
Yeah.
Group of 5 guys, Josh Bevel here. A little early in the morning call. It is 6:46 a.m. approximately. Heading to work. It's Monday. Sucks. But anywho, JMU and Tulane getting in. Freaking sick, boys. I hope both of them can make some damn noise in the playoff. Go into Oxford and go into Eugene, Oregon, and walk away with the victory. I'm really, really, really hoping that happens. I think both teams do have a legitimate chance to win. I mean, you never know, but, it's not like all these P4 teams would get blown out by Oregon and Ole Miss. That would never happen. Yeah. Group of 5 would get blown out by Georgia. Well, so does Alabama. Pisses me off. Put some more respect on Tulane and JMU, because they're damn good football programs. Damn good. Anyways, Georgia Southern versus App State in a bowl game. I mean, it's freaking awesome. But how ridiculous is that? I mean, I love it. We're getting another chance at App State. It's going to be hard to beat them twice, but, man, I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to play App State. I love that, but it's so sad at the same time that all these P4 teams are sitting there crying to their freaking mamas, I don't want to play a bowl game. I want to be in the playoff. Well, screw you, Notre Dame. You're the reason why we hate all of you. You're the freaking reason. You and Paul Feinbaum. Boys, it's early, and I'm getting fired up because all this shit just pissed me off this weekend. And I know you guys, too, when I listen to the episode, obviously before y'all play this, I know y'all are going to be saying the exact same things. Pisses me off. Anyway, hail Southern, beat App State, deeper than hate, GATA, God bless the Group of 5 guys, and God bless the Group of 5. See ya.
Appreciate you, Josh. How about that, though, for a bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Conference game, rivalry game.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You'll take it. I wonder what the travel situation is going to be like for both schools. But Josh, I hope we answered the bell for you. I hope you got everything you were expecting out of us at the beginning of the show here.
All right, let's keep it going.
Group of 5 guys, Morgan here, Washington Tulane fan. I think my voice is recovered just enough from Friday, can get through this voicemail. But anyway, man, just what an absolutely marvelous, wonderful game on Friday. Just an unbelievable effort from our guys. The defense, most walked in since the Duke game, 5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. Constantly forcing Mestonmaker to move off his first and even second reads on a lot of occasions. On offense, Jamari McClure, just an absolute bulldog. He's got that little Tajay in him, I think, and he showed that in this game tonight, especially in the one run where he kept their legs turning, moving the pile for about 10 additional yards. And on the receiver side of the ball, in the passing game, Jake did really good, just, taking what they gave him. Thought Garrett Manahat came up with a couple of really clutch third down conversions, and I thought that was a big part of the game as well, just, moving the chains when we had to and, playing mistake-free and efficient football, and that's going to win you a lot of games. So just so happy for the team, and, of course, now we get the rematch with Ole Miss, and it's going to be a lot easier for our fans to get there than to have to travel out to Eugene. So happy for our fan base. I think we're going to have a really good attendance in Oxford. I can't wait to get there. And, what else you can say? It's a magical season. I do want to give a shout out to our students, over 4,000, packed that south end zone. They were absolutely electric. It's just amazing to see how far we've come in the last 6-7 years from that standpoint. So huge shout out to them and really everyone that came out to the game. So I appreciate you guys being there and providing that coverage as well. I know you guys had a great time. Sorry we didn't get to meet up, but obviously it was a lot going on. Anyway, let's go 1-0 in Oxford. Let's get to the Sugar Bowl. I'm greedy. The team knows what they need to do to avenge that defeat early in September. So let's see what happens. RMFW.
Appreciate you, Morgan.
Yeah, that student section, I mean.
Electric.
He brought up a couple points, and McClure has been an absolute game changer for them. An absolute game changer for them. I mean, true number one back. He mentioned he's got a little bit of Tajay Spears to him. But, yeah, that play down there on the left side going away from the students where he takes the whole pile and then the O-linemen jump in. They go from, the 20 to inside the 10 on that run.
Yeah, he's not like a super
he's not big.
Yeah,
No.
But he's just low center of gravity, strong. I mean, a young kid, too. So hope they hold on to him.
Yeah.
See if he
no doubt.
summer on Florida. We'll see.
No.
Group of 5 guys. Nate here in Atlanta. Woke up this morning and still having to pinch myself after last night. What an amazing championship game for Kennesaw State. Jerry Mack, what a dude. This guy, and you guys have talked about this before, but this guy came in. Nobody wanted to come to Kennesaw State and play football after last year. Nobody. He had to go out and find guys that nobody had on their radar. I mean, Odom was playing for an FCS school, very mediocre at that FCS school. Our 2 running backs, I mean, none of these guys had offers anywhere else. It's just incredible what he's been able to do with these guys. They were all hungry. They came in, and every game all year, they found a way to win. And I just couldn't be more proud of those guys and Jerry Mack. I hope we can keep him. We'll see. I don't know. I don't even care right now. But I will say this last thing. In addition to Jerry Mack, the coaching staff that he brought in, these guys were young coaches, and they're hungry. They all are very bought into their system. They know it in and out, but they're hungry and they're young, and I'm just so proud of them. So excited to see what comes next. But hopefully we can keep most of them around. We'll see. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Group of 5 guys. Bye.
Appreciate you, Nate. Yeah, Jerry Mack, I mean, just an incredible job. And this is, to me, he's a phenomenal coach because it's so hard to recruit that area. Not chock full of resources like a lot of these other schools are. So for him to go out, assess talent, get them to come, and then coach them up, get all these new players to mesh together. I mean, coach of the year.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah, hands down.
All these linked to all these jobs.
And still there.
Yeah.
So good for Kennesaw State. I'm gonna try to run that thing back, buddy.
Appreciate the call, Nate. Kennesaw. We don't get a ton of Kennesaw callers.
No, we don't. What else? How many more we got here, Jeff?
2 left.
2 more. All right.
Boys, I was a very unhappy camper for Friday night and going into Saturday morning because I watched the biggest screw job in the history of college football as the cheating Green Wave of New Orleans got away with murder against the sweet, sweet people of Denton, Texas, the Mean Green. I mean, just kick catch interference, missed, fumble out of the end zone, missed. Don't get me wrong, Drew Mestermaker and the boys didn't play the best game they could, but the refs didn't help them out. I know Tulane has money, like space laser money, if you know what I mean. So they probably paid off the refs. And I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't jealous of Tulane. I'm totally jealous of their success and their vision and their goals as a program and a university. And I just wish we had like a fraction of that. I wish we had some of that vision. So I'm a hater. I'm a Tulane hater. Happy for it, you know, but I am more jealous of them than I hate them. You know, shout out to Green Wave Man and Tulane Talking Uptown Update. Always good trolling you guys and, you know, having fun with you guys online. And I was ready to give up all hope. You know, there was a, you know, bridge I wanted to jump off, you know, seeing Tulane go into the 12-team college football playoff.
Don't do it, Terry.
When a decade ago, you know, if you asked any Tulane fan a decade ago, we were, like, the Cajuns were in a better spot when it came to athletic-wise and football-wise. But we let go of the rope, and they just kicked our ass since then. But James Madison saved my sanity. Shout out to the Dukes and Duke football team for helping me out and keeping my hope alive. Because if James Madison can make it to the playoffs, I don't see why any of the Sun Belt team can't. I think we have to make some coaching decisions and administrative decisions to have a goal in mind and have a vision in mind to do that. Because I don't think we have it permanently right now. But shout out to the Dukes of JMU and represent the Sun Belt. And good luck to Tulane. I hope you get blown out in your first round against Ole Miss. But God bless Group of 5. God bless Group of 5, guys. As always, go Cajuns. Oh, yeah. SBC, SBC, SBC.
I love you, Terry.
Terry, you got to be pulling for Tulane.
Have
buddy.
to.
You got to. I get it. But listen, more people are going to be hesitant to pull for James Madison, Sunbelt folks, but you got to. I mean, you see what this national media is doing. It is us against the world here. You got to ride for the G5, boys.
Got to unite. Speaking of not riding for JMU.
Oh, no.
The Liberty faithful refuse. The vast majority of them, anyways, that I've seen on Twitter. So let's check in with one. We hadn't heard from Zach Green in a while.
He got rid of his socials.
Yeah, last call of the night.
Hey, guys. Zach Green here. It's true. He's gone. The 2025 Liberty Flames football season is officially dead. He came into this world in September in ill health from the get-go. Things were rough. From the first game, he struggled to come to life. And then he lost 4 games in a row. And we thought we were going to lose him right there at the end of September. But October came, and we had hope. He won 2 games in a row in October, and we started to believe again. We were still fearful. We thought we might still lose him early, but we had hope. He battled. He kept fighting. And the best day of his short life came on November 1st when he demolished the Blue Hens of Delaware. I was there to see it, and I was so excited. I thought maybe he was back. Maybe we'd get to hold on to him for a little bit longer. But no. That was the peak. After that, 4 straight weeks of suffering. 4 straight weeks of watching him fight and fight and fight and almost break through his affliction. Almost 4 straight weeks. But no, it just wasn't enough. And I was there last weekend when he gave up the ghost finally. In the end, ultimately, his immune system just gave way. 2 overtimes, 2 plays on defense, total of 2 plays on defense in overtime, between 2 overtimes. So that's 1 play per overtime. touchdown given up on each play. His immune system just couldn't handle it. And that was it. It was over. And I've been away a while from these calls just to, be with the family, just kind of deal with some things internally. Hope we could help him push through, but it just wasn't enough. And I just wanted to come back and just report to you guys the truth of what has happened. And we're sad, we're grieving, but we have some hope for the future because we know 2026 is likely. 2026 will bring us a new season, and we will be here when he is born to love him and support him, just like we did the 2025.
Appreciate you, Zach. Yeah, the old Liberty Flames, they underachieved quite a bit.
Certainly underachieved. Will they be back though? You know,
a lot of people want Chadwell got out of there.
Somebody's available again. Maybe make that phone call. Maybe.
Sprouse, I know you love a good retread.
No, Liberty's a different spot though. It takes a certain kind of.
It does.
It takes a certain person to want that job and then to be able to keep it and make everybody happy, but also win. So, I don't know.
Appreciate all the calls tonight, boys.
Ain't no doubt. Well, Jeff, real quick, because I don't know if we're going to do a Friday show. Army-Navy on Saturday. These games, it's like you throw everything out the window. I mean, you remember how good Army was a year ago, and then they come to this game and they lose to Navy. This year, it's kind of the other way. Navy's the team that's been rolling all year, but Army's been close. So I don't know.
I mean, on its face, Horvath, Heidenreich, like they've just been so much fun to watch. I feel like they really came on. That end of the year stretch they had that we talked about, how tough it was going to be. They
answered the bell.
They answered the bell. But as we saw, you mentioned last year, you can throw all of it out the window. It doesn't matter. It's going to come down to a final play, I think. And we'll see. I'm going to roll Navy. I'm going to roll with the midshipmen, but this game is going to be awesome just to watch. The pageantry, all of it.
Yeah, it's in Baltimore this year. So Navy, a little closer to home for Navy. I'm just going to be different, say Army. And that'll be typical, right? And then it'll be a shared, they'll all have Army will take the Commander-in-Chief trophy. So
Cale Helms, man, he stepped in and really kind of took that offense over. You had Coleman at the beginning of the year. They split time, kind of went back and forth, and he really solidified it about halfway through the season and just ran that offense really, really efficient. So it should be fun to watch. I'm going Navy though.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. You hear about it a little bit, but never like a ton of traction. Both head coaches, I'm sure they like where they're at, and I'm sure they're taking phone calls. But I'm surprised nobody's thrown the Brinks truck at either of them.
Yeah,
they're Newberry or Monken, but we'll see. Should be a good game. Look, if you like the show, make sure you find us on all the social platforms at Group of Five Guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network, wherever you get your best podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a 5-star rating and a review. Most importantly, tell your family and friends all about us. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you on all the socials. We're out of here.